We are VLC. We offer value, providing you with quality review programs and online seminars that bring out the best in you. At VLC, we listen. Adapting to the times, we brought our in-demand on-ground review lectures online with our virtual law companion. Subscribing to this online learning platform means you get 24/7 access to our updated video lectures and bar review notes from the best and most respected lecturers and professors. At VLC, we collaborate, working with the best technology providers through our learning management system to best prepare you for the first ever digitalized bar exams. We work hand in hand with legal experts you can trust, providing top-notch services to those who need it the most through our free online legal consultations and free lecture series. Value, listen, and collaborate. This is the VLC way, and we are VLC.
The law firm of Villasis and Partners, VP Law, is a law office engaged in the general practice of law. Its principal office is conveniently located at the heart of the University Belt at Villasis Law Center, VLC, Unit 911 CKKFI Building P. Paredes Street, Sampala, Manila. VP Law was organized in 2015 by attorney Christian G. Villasis and continues to expand to date. From the start, VP Law has maintained a varied and prestigious client base and continues to be recognized as one of the leading law firms in the country. VP Law has a diversified general law practice as the firm handles all aspects of corporate, commercial and business transactions, protection and enforcement of intellectual property rights and data privacy rights, collection, civil and criminal litigation, admiralty and maritime practice, labor management relations, election, administrative and local government cases, real estate transactions, land titles, deeds and conveyances, foreclosure of mortgages, writ of possession, replevin, bought laws, business organizations and corporate regulatory compliance and taxation, among others. In addition, the firm offers contract drafting, review, and negotiation, legal research and consultation, as well as other legal assistance pertinent thereto. At present, the firm's increasing number of lawyers is capable of handling various legal matters and cases and is able and willing to cater to clients' concerns with utmost professionalism and zeal. Apart from experienced VP Law lawyers, its legal team includes highly competent paralegals and professional legal staff who are constantly inclined to assist the lawyers, thereby ensuring efficient and cost-effective service to its clients. VP Law aims to provide its clients with quality legal representation anchored on the ethics of hard work, commitment and responsiveness to clients' needs. This vision has been the moving force in the firm's growth into a first-rate, full-service law firm.
You can answer either way, class, and so long as you're able to present in your answer basic precepts, sound ones and rational ones, then it should be your answer given full credit. It would all depend on, as I always announce in my classes, it would always depend on your English. All right. You say that the successful president can act on those bills. Why? Well, because the Constitution does not make any distinction as to the rule of presentment and the competence of either predecessor or successor president to approve or veto the same. The only prescription in the Constitution is that if it were not acted within 30 days, then it shall be considered essentially as having lapsed into law. But you can answer that way, class, and that should be a correct answer. But then you can answer the other way.
Importante, again, sequential, you may skip, but make sure that you are still on that track. And what best way for you to make sure that you are still on track is, again, to devote a page to a main question. Make sure that you do this so that you wouldn't be forced to resort to putting notes like how you do it in law school, because in the bar examinations, no more. Diba yung notes mo dun sa examiner, Mr. Bar Examiner, please check the last page of my note of my booklet, because that's where I put my answer to this question. That's not allowed anymore because that's an unnecessary marking, right? So, sa law school, nagagawa yun dati, puro arrows, you try to direct your professor on where to use.
Party rests his case and real evidence consists of objects offered in court. Example, you may use a physical object to demonstrate its existence or identity. Like, for example, the serial number on a computer found in a private residence could identify it as a government-owned property. Or, for example, the gun that was used in case of murder. Now, the other type will be testimonial evidence. And what is testimonial evidence? You call a person to take the witness stand and his testimony is being offered to prove specific purposes. The third type will be your documentary evidence. It is formally offered by the proponent immediately before he rests his case. A document may be an object evidence or a documentary evidence depending on the purpose.
This is before the amendment. And for every allegation, it should be supported by evidence, because evidence is the means sanctioned by the rules in a judicial proceeding to establish what? That equals to the truth. So if there is an allegation supported by evidence, then you're able to establish the truth. But now it has been adjusted. Kindly take note of that. Why? Because today, for purposes of filing a pleading, for purposes of initiating a complaint, and this would include all other pleadings, even responsive pleadings, what is now the requirement of the rule under Rule 6? That together with the pleading initiatory pleading, which is made as an integral part thereof, would be what? Judicial affidavits.
He may be held liable for staffa by misappropriation or conversion. Okay, staffa by misappropriation or conversion. Why can't that not be theft? Why can't that not be carnapping, which is of similar nature of theft? Okay, it is because Mr. A's possession over that car is not only physical or material, it is juridical as well. For the next 7 days from the time he rented the car, okay, he not only has physical possession of that car, he has juridical possession of that car as well. Why did I say that?
The other source of labor principles is the Constitution. Do not enter the gates of USC unless you have mastered the four corners of Section 3, Article 13 of the Constitution of 1987. How important is this provision? Based on this constitutional provision, there were questions given in 1988, 96, 98. 2007, 2008, 2009, 2011, 2012. So if this constitutional provision figured in those barriers, then it means that it is an area that requires mastery. The first question in 1998 was this: what are the salient features of the protection?
In the Constitution that the JBC, the Judicial and Bar Council, shall be composed of 7 members. The Chief Justice as ex officio chairperson, the Secretary of Justice, very specific, as a member, ex officio member, and then a member from Congress, and then 4 other regular members, a representative from the retired Supreme Court justices, very specific, a representative from the integrated bar, a representative from the private sector, and then a representative from the academe, professor of law. This case of Chavez versus JBC, it's included in this slide. I'm sharing simply because there was an issue actually on what a member.
Unang pumaparte sa mana, BIR. Kasi mayroon tinatag na estate tax. Okay? Maganda ngayon. Isa na lamang ang rate. 6% na lang ng net estate. Okay? Unlike before, the computation of the estate tax was a little complicated. And long before, meron ng estate tax, meron pang inheritance tax na mas magulong po i-compute. Kaya lang, fortunately, ito panahon ni Presidente Duterte, legislature passed a law simplifying the computation of estate taxes. A flat rate of 6% of the net estate. Hindi na-graduated.
Good day to our dear attendees from different parts of the country. I pray that you're all in great state of health. This free webinar is streaming live via the Villasis Law Center's YouTube channel and Facebook page. If you can hear my voice clearly, please type in the comment section #VLC. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Optimize this learning opportunity. Share this free online lecture to your friends and together learn at the comfort of your homes. I want to formally welcome you all to this free webinar. This is part of a series of free online lectures brought to you by the Virtual Law Companion of Villasis Law Center. Allow me to share to you this good news. The Virtual Law Companion is the newest innovation of Villasis Law Center, which aims to provide an easy, convenient, and quality bar review experience. The Virtual Law Companion is a web application that is hosted on a dedicated cloud server. It can be accessed via the internet 24/7 for any web browser using any device or handheld computers like Android or iOS phones. Meaning, you can study anytime, anywhere, and from any mobile device. Please visit our website at www.villasislawcenter.com to know more about our programs and activities. Before we formally start, please take note of some reminders. First, this free webinar is pre-recorded to ensure the uninterrupted streaming of lectures. Secondly, VLC team will be with you to assist you should you need more information about our program. Please visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page. Without further ado, please give your virtual claps and welcome our lecturer today. Again, this free webinar is brought to you by our Virtual Law Companion. Maraming salamat po. Together, we can make things happen. Together, we can.
Our lecturer has obtained his Bachelor of Laws from Arellano University. In 2020, he finished as a scholar, the Executive Masters in Disaster Risks and Crisis Management program from the Asian Institute of Management. Currently, he is taking up the Masters of Law program from Liverpool John Moores University. Upon admittance to the bar, he was engaged in private practice until he joined the judiciary under the Office of Justice Consuelo Weiner Santiago, as court attorney and Director 2 of the Senate Electoral Tribunal. He is an active member of the Academe, teaching commercial laws and legal ethics in several law schools and review centers. Also, he is a member of the Committee on the Suggested Answers in Commercial Law and Legal and Judicial Ethics at UP Law Center. He is one of the distinguished lecturers of the mandatory continuing legal education for lawyers in commercial law and legal ethics. He likewise served as Undersecretary in the Department of Justice and is currently the Deputy Commissioner of Insurance Commission. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Deputy Commissioner Erickson H. Balmes.
Good day everyone, isa pong mapagpalang araw sa inyong lahat at welcome po sa Villasis Law Center Free Lectures 2021. Samahan niyo po ako sa susunod na 1 oras at kalahati ng pagpapalitan ng mga pananaw at kaalaman sa legal ethics. Kung mapapansin ninyo ay nagpipilit akong managalog kasi po ngayon ay buwan ng wikang pambansa. So bilang pasasalamat sa mga ninuno na nagtaguyod ng ating pagkasarili at saka kasarinlan at saka pagkakaroon na sariling imahe ng Pilipino sa pamamagitan ng wika. Ako ay magpipilit mag-lecture in Filipino but I will transition to English also once in a while. So salamat po sa Villasis Law Center for allowing me to have this free lecture or to be part of this free lecture 2021. Ang topic po natin ngayon ay magugulat kayo, surprise, surprise. Okay? Ito po ay ang aking MCLE lecture na ginawa ko kasi babahagi sa inyo, magiging lawyer ka na din naman by next year, hopefully God willing, simulan mo na ngayon. Kaya po ang magiging tema nito is the same. You're going to get the same lecture that I'm giving sa MCLE this year. Simulan mo. Simulan mo na ngayon. So, ang rule po dyan is attract your future, visualize your future, and realize your future. So, what the mind can conceive, the body will achieve. So, yan po yung, I'll just adjust my audio para maganda. So, yan po yung reason why ibinabahagi ko ito sa inyo. The topic I lectured last year and this year is avoiding the ethical and technical pitfalls of lawyering. Technical is on the social media side. Ang relevance po nito is in the age of information and communication technology, where we are always connected, and that is good, and that's also the other reason why it should be bad if we are not going to remember that as lawyers, what we do personally will reflect on us professionally and vice versa. We can also falter in the realm of the internet and other realms of communications using information technology. So some of us are triple citizens, Filipino citizen, senior citizen, at the same time ay isang netizen. So iyan po iyon. For others, there's a fourth citizenship. Ito ho yung mga kaibigan kong hindi pa decided, sila ba half Filipino or half Filipina or half Filipino and half Filipina. Okay, so yan po yun. Special shoutout lang po, kaya natin mga millennials, shoutout sa mga members ng Musta Attorney na umaattend ngayon at lalo din po sa, ganoon na rin po sa mga members ng Abogadong Pinoy. Ako po'y kasapi ng dalawang grupo. Pagka nandyan tayo, chill lang tayo. Okay? Manood lang tayo ng palitan, kumain tayo ng popcorn. Okay? Let us not be angered by the comments there. Malayang papapalitan lang po yan ng mga komento. Okay? So, lawyers are APOR. Yan ang unang-unang update ko sa inyo sa panahon ng ECQ. Ano ba yung APOR? Lawyers are authorized persons outside of the residence. So, kaya nga pilitin ninyo maging abogado kayo kasi kung next year ay tayo pababa na ang COVID ECQ or GCQ or other Q, by next year, ang abogado po ay authorized outside. Ang iba naman po, pag hindi ka APOR, ikaw ay appear. Ano yung appear? Yan po ay APOR versus appear, authorized person inside residence. Yan po ang appear. Now, to help our barbets fight the good fight in legal ethics, pabayaan nyo po akong ibahagi sa inyo ang balitang ito. Ito ho ay inspired by one of my favorite movies, yung 300, Awu, Awu, Awu. Just released last July 23, 2021. Yan po ang aking munting ambag sa inyong pa-review. Ethics 300, 300 relevant and relevant questions and answers in legal and judicial ethics, a pre-week companion. Yan po yung kauna-unahang libro na aking sa tulong ng Panginoon ay nakatha at nalimbag. At yan po ay available na ngayon. Available na po. You can order online, www.central.com.ph. It contains 300 plus. Actually, 312 po talaga yan eh. Kaya lang, magandang title yung 300. Kaya 300. So yung 12 questions, bonus na yon. 300 plus questions and answers taken from Supreme Court decisions, issuances, and relevant provisions of law. Yan. Okay po. Based on the 2021 bar exam syllabus for judicial and legal ethics. Okay? So, yan po iyon. It contains questions and answers based on the Justice Leonen decisions in legal and judicial ethics. So, damay na rin po dyan ito. Yan po yung mura lang, 620 pesos per book. At kaya nga po ako malakas ang loob promote ay dahil hindi po yan para sa akin. Yan po ay naisipan kong gawin sa tulong ng Panginoon para po magkaroon tayo ng revenue stream for our charitable undertaking. It is all for a good cause. Our mantra for this project is, nakatulong ka na, surely, natuto ka pa, hopefully. Nasa sa inyo yan kung matututo kayo. Kasi po, the proceeds will fund our year-long outreach initiatives for our adopted charities. Kasi ho, natatakot ang aking wife na baka wala na kaming makain, kaka-outreach namin. So to reassure her, okay, gumawa po ako ng libro, pinagpilitan ko para doon po tayo kukuha ng pang-outreach. So, we will be helping sa kada librong bibilhin ninyo. We will be helping provide food and other needs for the abandoned children of Silong Tanglaw, dyan po sa may Quezon Avenue. Actually, Araneta Avenue. So the cancer-stricken children of Child House, yan po isang halfway house, libre po ang tira nila dyan. Pag sila nagpapakimo sa may PGH, kaya lang po yung mga pangangailangan nilang iba, we try to provide. Or the abandoned lolos and lolas of Bahay Aruga of Calapan City in Mindoro. Sa pakikipagtulungan po sa mga prosecutors natin ng Department of Justice na naging kaibigan natin dyan nung nasa DOJ pa tayo. So, ang bawat isa pong bibilhin ninyo ay it could provide an additional meal, an additional blanket, additional toiletries for our lolos and lolas, stricken children and abandoned children of our chosen charities. So, bili na po kayo, Ethics 300. Yun hong ibang mga topic na pag-uusapan natin dito ay nandyan. Yung iba naman ho, para sa inyong pre-week ay yung iba ho na wala sa lecture ngayon ay nandyan ho sa librong yan. So, makakatulong po sa inyo yan. Siguro naman ho, kahit isa out of 300 ay may lalabas sa aking libro para po sa par exam na ito. So, maraming salamat po. Now available also in Shopee. Para po sa mga katanungan, please feel free to email them to me, eh.balmes@insurance.gov.ph or ehbalmes@aim.edu. Bigyan nyo lang po ako ng 1 linggo hanggang 2 linggo na pagkakataong ma-research kung medyo complicated or challenging yung inyong tanong. Pero pagtulong-tulungan po nating matuto tayong lahat. Okay? So last July 31, 2021, latest update po sa inyo para sa mga magbabar. Ang sabi po ng Office of the Bar Confidence, dahil nga sarado, physically closed ang Supreme Court from August 2, 2021 to August 20, 2021. In view of that, the Office of the Bar Confident Help Desk hotlines will only be available on Mondays and Wednesdays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Okay? So, yan lang po. 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. po. Mondays and Wednesdays, pwede kayong tumawag. And you may file your petition using the Bar Plus, the Bar Personal Login Unified System, or may send your queries or concerns through the Bar Plus or the application process through the OBC Help Desk email, obc.helpdesk@sc@judiciary.gov.ph. So, iyan po ang aming latest update balita sa inyo. Now, the more the merry. Ito naman po ay pagpapa-share lang sa inyo kung hindi nyo pa nababalitaan. Last, nilumabas po ito sa Inquirer, MOA signed for 16 test centers nationwide for November, Sundays of November 2021. Ang target po talaga dito ni Chairman ay 25 testing centers. So far po, yan po yung 16 at may plano pa po si Chairman na madagdagan. So paano ba ito? How do we go about it? The how? The applicant could determine the venue for the bar exam with permission from the Office of the Bar Confident. Iyan po. So, nakakapili na kayo. Hindi nyo na kailangan maglalabas. Ang payo ko sa inyo, tulad ng mga payo ko sa mga estudyante ko na mine-mentor ko this year kasi may maliit pong grupo ako ng mga estudyante. Some of them ay may former paralegal sa DOJ paralegal program. Ang iba naman po naging estudyante ko sa Pamantasang de la Salle sa Prilo at ang iba sa law school. I took them under my wings. Ang sabi ko po sa kanila, magbubble na kayo as early as October 1. Kasi nga, a positive result on the testing will result in you being disqualified for the bar. And napakasakit nun sa haba ng preparasyon. So, mangyari na maaga pa lang ay magkaroon na, magpabakuna, definitely. At ang pangalawa ay magbubble as early as October, wag nang palabas-labas, weather the storm in your bubble at hanggang matapos ang bar exam. So, pinagdadasal po namin at mamaya po kami po ay dadalaw ng aking family sa Mount Carmel Shrine sa Lipa. Isasama ko po ang inyong pagdadasal. Pagdadasal ko po kayo mamaya. Okay? So, yan lang po. In addition, ang aming munting ambag para po sa mga iba pa na gusto pong magkatulungan tayo, we, together with the students I mentioned kanina, are pushing for the Save the Dream Project, Chase the Dream Project. Kasi hindi naman po tayo frontliner, we cannot save lives, but we can save dreams. Because we believe in the power of your dreams. Okay? So, ang hashtag natin dito is thankful, grateful, hopeful, Ad Maiorem Dei Gloriam, sa mga Jesuit-educated students, alam niyo yan, all for the greater glory of God. Napakarami po nating dapat pagpapasalamat sa kabila ng lahat ng nangyari. Ang sabi ko nga po palagi, in simplest terms, every gising is a blessing. The fact na kayo gising ngayon at nanonood ng lecture na ito, ibig sabihin po, kayo po ay kasama namin at kayo po ay kinakasihan ng Panginoon kasi kaya kayo buhay, hindi pa tapos. God is not finished with you. You are bound to do very, very good things. And I hope that you could attain it, and one of them is your passing the bar. Kasi consider it as equipping you to do God's greater task, to do God's to do everything for God's greater glory. Yun hong titulo is means to an end. So, we are doing the Lecture for Hope series. We started it last year, last March 2020, at the start of the lockdown. Para bang ito ho yung naging munting ambag natin na sanity check. At kung hindi ako nagkakamali, tayo ho ay lumampas ng 20 plus lectures. All of them are for free. Our lockdown pushback, our pandemic fight back. March 2020 onwards, tayo po ay nagbigay ng free weekend lectures in commercial law and legal ethics. The free lectures were conducted via Zoom, open to all, first come, first serve. Your chapter or law school wants to host a free lecture, please feel free to communicate with us. Let's talk at ehbalmes@aim.edu or eh.balmes@insurance.gov.ph. Makakapag-usap po tayo kung ano ang inyong gusto. We can provide the Zoom link, just provide the audience. For free handouts po, ito po ay ang Villasis Law Center ay nabahaginan ko na rin ng handouts na ito. Pero kung wala pa po kayong natatanggap, please feel free to communicate with us. Dalawa po ang ating nailabas ng handout so far. At hopefully po sa free week natin makapaglabas pa tayo. Now showing po the Justice Marvic Leonen Case Doctrines in Legal and Judicial Ethics, gawa po ng inyong lingkod. At just released po last week, yan naman po, the Marvic Leonen Case Doctrines in Mercantil Law. Yan po ay naibahagi ko na sa Villasis. Kung wala pa po kayong nakukuha, yan po ay libre, free din, libre now. How to avail, simply send us your name, law school, and mobile number. Name, law school, mobile number. Okay? balmesfreenotes@gmail.com. balmesfreenotes@gmail.com. At kami po ay magpapadala sa inyo. Kung gusto lang naman po nyong mapasama sa aming mailing list para po sa mga ibang activities natin related to the bar, just send us kung nakakuha na po kayo ng handout pero gusto nyong makasama sa mailing list namin, just send us your name, law school, mobile number, balmesfreenotes@gmail.com. Ang ating pong rule sa ating handouts, huwag niyong suluhin. These notes are meant to be shared. Sharing them is a good karma waiting to happen. Sa lab, walang forever daw. Sa ating handouts meron. Pipilitin po nating free for life ito. Yan po ang aking naging munting panata nung ako'y nagre-review way back in 2003. Ako ho'y nagre-review pa lang, naglabas na ako ng handout. Sabi ko, basta Lord, ako ho'y makapasa on my first take. Gagawin ko po itong panata taon-taon at awa ho ng Panginoon ay naituloy ko up to now. Okay? Kaya nga ang hashtag yan is this thing called panata. Yan. Okay. So we now begin with the first part of our lecture, the legal ethics part of our bar exams. For the 4 Sundays of November 2021, kayong lahat ay matetest. Okay? Sa intellectual preparedness po ninyo for the bar. Okay? Intellectual preparedness for the bar. Okay? So, iyan po iyon. We will have a test of intellectual preparedness. Pero, ang hindi nyo alam, ang unang-unang test ay before November. And that is the test of good moral character. The real first test or the first real test, either way, okay yan, is good moral character. Gaano kahalaga ang good moral character? Yan po ay sa filing period pa lamang masusubok na kayo. Kung totoo ang inyong sinasabi o sinasagot sa petition to take the bar. Ito po ay magiging basehan ang kaso ng Tan versus Abandal, isang kaso na desisyonan noong 1992, but up to now, the message resonates with equal applicability and weight. Ang sinasabi po dyan on good moral character, although the term good moral character admits of broad dimensions, it has been defined as including at least common honesty. Okay? Then po ang ibig sabihin niyan, it has been defined as including at least common honesty. So, iyan po ang good moral character. Okay? Honesty, alam naman ninyo, ay mahirap sa ibang mga tao. Is such a lonely word. Everyone is so untrue. Okay? So, iyan po iyon. Likewise, it has also been held that no moral qualification for bar membership is more important than truthfulness or candor. So, there you have the answer to the question, what is the most important attribute of a lawyer? And that is truthfulness or candor. For us lawyers, anong implication niyan? Well, we should be very, very careful in signing the certificate of good moral character because we should only support the candidacy to the bar exams of those who we believe are truly, truly qualified. Okay? So tell our future lawyers, be truthful in their petitions to take the bar. What is the effect of discovery if it was discovered at it will depend on when it was discovered. Kung na-discover yan before the bar, no more permit. Kung na-discover after one exam, halimbawa po ay criminal law or remedial law, hindi ka na makapag-exam pagkatapos kasi that is now failure taken against you. So, iyan po iyon. And also be truthful, hindi lang sa sagot, lalo na sa identity. Okay? Lalo na sa identity. Okay? So, as your bar candidate, ikaw ba talaga yan? Okay? As your bar candidate, ikaw ba talaga yan? July 12, 2016, dinisisyonan ng Supreme Court ang landmark case na Caronan versus Richard Caronan, aka Patrick Caronan. Is the first case of identity theft for a bar candidate. I repeat, is the first case of identity theft for a bar candidate. Sabi ng Supreme Court, the court does not discount the possibility that the respondent may later on complete his college education and earn a law degree under his real name. Wala tayong issue dyan, sabi ng court. However, his false assumption of his brother's name, identity, and educational record renders him unfit for admission to the bar. The practice of law, after all, is not a natural, absolute, or constitutional right to be granted to everyone who demands it. Rather, it is a privilege limited to citizens of good moral character. Okay? So, iyan po yun. Kaya, good moral character po is a condition sine qua non eh. Okay? Kasi pagka po wala niyan, maaari pong hindi ka payagan na mag-continue as a bar candidate kasi it leaves a lot to be desired. Kasi privilege, strictly construed. So on good moral character, what do you need to know? Good moral character is what a person really is. Kung ano ka talaga. Versus good reputation. They are different po ha. As distinguished from good reputation or from the opinion generally entertained of him, the estimate in which he is held by the public in the place where he is known. That is reputation. Moral character is not a subjective term but one which corresponds to objective reality. Iyan po iyon. The standard of personal and professional integrity is not satisfied by such conduct as it merely enables a person to escape the penalty of criminal law. So there you have it. Kasi ang pinupuntahan ng good moral character ay yung ano na po ito yung pagiging mong abogado kasi good moral character is a continuing requirement for those who are practicing, those who are members of the bar. Good moral character includes at least common honesty. So ang ruling po dyan is respondent is barred from being admitted as a member of the Philippine Bar in the future. It's a disqualification, perpetual disqualification. The identification cards issued by the Integrated Bar of the Philippines to respondent under the name Attorney Patrick Caronan and the MCLE certificates issued in such name are hereby cancelled and revoked. The Office of the Court Administrator is ordered to circulate notices and post in the bulletin boards of all courts of the country a photograph of respondent with his real name, Richard Caronan, with a warning that he is not a member of the Philippine Bar, and a statement of his false assumption of the name and identity of attorney Patrick Cabajo. But while this is the first case of identity theft for a lawyer or a bar candidate, this is not the first case of identity theft for lawyers. Kasi po, nung around 2009, between 2000 and 2011, the actual date escapes me as of the moment, ay merong isang kasong dinesisyonan ng Korte Suprema about a lady lawyer who stole the identity of another lawyer. Minsan, nung unang panahon, sa isang di kalayo ang probinsya, ay meron pong i-off ko lang po saglit ang aking video ha, kasi po lumalabas po na unstable ang aking internet. Okay, sa isang di kalayo ang probinsya ay meron pong isang suspended lawyer na pumunta sa probinsyang ito at nagtayo po ng law office sa probinsyang yan at ginamit po niya or she stole the identity of another lawyer. Yun po ang nangyari sa kasong ito. She stole the identity of another lawyer at nag-practice. Wala naman hong lihim na hindi nabubulgar. Some people who really knew about the real lawyer confronted her and asked her and interrogated her. And she admitted under the intensity of the interrogation that she was not who she is claiming to be. And the penalty was, the suspension penalty was upgraded by the Supreme Court to a penalty of disbarment. Parang pelikulang Pilipino ang peg niyan umuwi sa probinsya, nagsabi ng bagong simula, nobody knows them there, yan po ang nangyari. So nagkaroon ng balik probinsya program. In the age of Google, please be mindful, be truthful in all your claims. False claims can be verified in a click. You have the case of a UP summa cum laude graduate. Alam niyo yan. Yun ay naging guest speaker sa isang graduation. And she claimed to be a summa cum laude graduate. She further claimed to be a Juris Doctor awardee. Ay wala naman daw ganong ina-award. At she further claimed to be a best in research. Wala namang College of Law sa UP Manila. So, be careful kasi a lawyer must not do anything unlawful. Okay? A lawyer must not do anything unlawful, deceitful, immoral, and dishonest. Okay? So, tayo po ay mag-move forward. Important lessons of Bar 2018 was, kaya ko sinasama ito kasi relevant ito. Marami siguro sa inyo na pasok na dito. The case of Santos versus Lamas decided on January 20, 2020 pero ito po ay naging question number 2 sa 2018 bar exams. At ang sinasabi lang po sa doktrinang ito, IBP dues are not covered by senior citizens discount. I repeat, IBP dues are not covered by senior citizens discount. Okay. A question was once asked of my student. Okay. Sabi niya, "Sir, ano ba maganda pagpasa ko next year? Lifetime or not?" Okay? Kasi feeling ko papasa ako. Ang tagot ko lang sa kanya, "Ilang taon na ba kayo?" Sabi niya, "Sir, I'm 71 years old." Kaya wag ho kayong magla-lifetime, lugi kayo, mag-annual na lang kayo. Okay? Speaking of seniors, pati po mga senior lawyers, may supervision ng ating Korte Suprema. Sabihin nyo sa inyong mga lolo, sila po, paalala lang, sila po makipag-ugnayan sa Office of the Bar Confidant to require all members of the integrated bar in active practice whose ages are 70 or above to personally appear before the Office of the Bar Confidant. Okay. Kasi nga may pandemic, baka po hindi iyan, makipag-ugnayan na lang po kayo kasi yung personal appearance, alam ko hanggang August 2020, physically closed ang Supreme Court, but even that ay pwede po yang ipag-utos ng ating Korte Suprema. Isa pa pong babala sa lahat, ikaw ba isang law professor? May textmate ka ba? Be careful who you text and what you text. If you're texting students, well, yan at hindi naman kayo close relatives, wala namang kayong, kung magkasano nag-estudyante mo lang siya, it might be very, very improper for you to use the word miss you or love you. Lalong-lalo na kung ang ka-text mo ay law student. Ito po yung ethical aspect of the use of information and communication technology. Okay, so ano pong dapat tandaan natin dito? Noong April 2019, dinesisyon na ng kaso na report July 10, 2019, the Supreme Court suspends a law professor for lewd text to students, sexual jokes in class. He was suspended from practice for 5 years, suspended from teaching law for 10 years. Supreme Court has suspended a law professor from the Xavier University in Cagayan de Oro over text messages and sexist conduct which the court deemed amounted to sexual harassment. So, iyan po iyon. Sexual harassment daw po ang ginagawa pagka ganyan. Okay? His defense that text messages, love you and miss you, are friendly messages without malice. Yun po ang kanyang sabi. Ang sabi naman ng Supreme Court, in short, it is not necessary that there was an offer for sex for there to be sexual harassment as a superior's conduct with sexual underpinnings which offends the victim or creates a hostile environment would suffice. Yan na po daw iyon. The essence of sexual harassment is not the violation of the victim's sexuality but the abuse of power by the offender. Pahabol pa ng Supreme Court, what the law aims to punish is the undue exercise of power and authority manifested through sexually charged conduct or one filled with sexual undertones. His sexually laced conduct had created a hostile and offensive environment which deeply prejudiced his students. In what was supposed to be a safe place for them to learn and develop, they were instead subjected to unwarranted sexual advances. Kaya if in case of doubt sa textmate ninyo, may nagpadala, kayo'y professor, ingat din kayo sa pagsagot kasi ang kalaban lang ninyo dyan ay screenshot. Sagot na lang, who you. Yan. Tapos sabay tigil na. Don't feed the cat. Don't add to the fire. Government lawyers beware versus Niebla. This verse 6, 2016. Kisagap ka ba sa wifi ng nakikiyup ka ba sa office? Imagine mo, YouPorn. Sino gumagawa niyan? Watching porn in office shows good moral ka. I-off lang po ulit ang aking video ha. Unstable daw po. Watching porn in office shows lack of good moral character. Habitually watching porn in his office laptop, inside office premises, during office hours, with the full knowledge and full view of his staff, shrouds the legal profession in a very negative light. Yun po ang sabi ng Korte Suprema. Moral of the story, if you're going to watch it, close the door. Hindi naman, joke lang, huwag niyong gagawin, wag na wag. Kasi nangyari na yan, pwedeng mangyari muli. Okay? So, ang akin pong payo sa inyo, ang hirap makakuha ng title na attorney, ATTY, yan po title na attorney ay binubuo ng aral, tiyaga, tapang at yawe, okay? Kayo po ay yung yawe all caps kasi all things, kulang ka sa aral, kulang ka sa tiyaga, kulang ka sa tapang, but you have full of God, you can still survive and succeed, okay? Ang dali-dali mawala. Kaya stay ethical po and be thankful every year. Dahil yung day, ako po taon-taon ako'y nagsisimba sa day of passing, day of my oath, and day of signing. Kasi po, yan po lahat ay mahahalaga. Kaya ang ating hashtag before we take a short break ay thankful, grateful, hopeful. So, iyan po iyon. Thankful, grateful, hopeful. God bless and congratulations sa inyong bar preparation. Safer days ahead to all po. Hello po muli and welcome po sa ating second part ng ating free lectures for legal ethics on in partnership with the Villasis Law Center. So, sabi ko nga sa inyo, safer days to all kasi napaka-challenging po nitong COVID-19 regime that we are living now, and I hope with the prayers of everybody, with the collective cooperation of everybody, and the support of everybody sa mga government protocols natin like social distancing, wearing the mask, may itawid natin ito at matatapos ito. For all others, we have to pray. Okay? So March 14, 2017, dinesisyon na ng Supreme Court ng isang kaso involving stalking. Okay? Government lawyers stalking Can government lawyers stalk online? The Supreme Court has disbarred a female Pasay City judge for a slew of offenses, including sexually harassing a fellow judge and refusing to take on night court duty. Ito po ay nangyari, MR na ito 2017, 2016, November, tinanggal muna siya. Previously, she was ordered removed from office. In a 22-page resolution promulgated, the Supreme Court ordered the cancellation of the license of the judge to practice law and ordered her removal from the role of lawyers. Ano ang effect ng removal from the role of attorney? You are no longer part of that grand and noble brotherhood and family of lawyers, sisterhood of lawyers. Okay? So, hindi ka na lawyer, wala nang privilege sa iyo. To appeal or not is a dilemma kasi nung siya nag-appeala, dyan po nakita na yung una ay disobedience, yung removal, at nung disbarment po, nag-appeala siya, doon nakita na siya stalker ng kapwa niya judge. He was given a harsher penalty when she appealed the High Tribunal's dismissal order issued in November 2016. The Supreme Court cited the same violations committed by the former as basis for her disbarment, saying her liabilities under the new Code of Judicial Conduct for the Philippine Judiciary also made her liable under the Code of Professional Conduct for Lawyers. Iyan naman po iyon. That is by virtue of Supreme Court Circular 02-902. 02-902. The High Court held that she violated Canon 1 of the Code for not complying with SC Admin Order 19-2011 which established night courts. Kasi po nagkaroon ng order si Chief Justice Corona in 2011, then Chief Justice Renato Corona issued AO number 19-2011 in response to the request of the Department of Tourism to establish night courts in Pasay and Makati cities to expeditiously hear cases involving nighttime apprehension as well as special cases under the rule on summary procedure in summary procedure and criminal charges against tourists. Okay? She refused to abide by the order and questioned it before the office of the court administrator. So iyan po yung nangyari. She asked for additional compensation and security in case she would undertake night court duties. The stalking part was discovered or was included by the Supreme Court doon na po sa doon na po sa decision on the MR. She also violated Canon 11 which requires lawyers to respect the courts and judicial officers by sending inappropriate messages with sexual undertones to a fellow judge. With sexual undertones to a fellow judge. So, iyan po yun. Kaya kung yan hashtagan mo, yan ang hashtag niyan hashtag ang pag-ibig kong ito, hashtag luha ang tanging nakamit buhat sa'yo kasi po ito'y kaso ng unrequited admiration. Okay? And we very well know that appreciation in the hierarchy of human needs occupies a high rank. It is one of the greatest human need. It is a commodity in short supply. The Supreme Court found her guilty of gross misconduct, violation of the lawyer's oath, and willful disobedience of a lawful order. The Supreme Court also ordered the forfeiture of all of her benefits except accrued leave credits and disqualified her from holding any public office, including in government-owned or controlled corporations. So, iyan po iyon. Paano sir kung ikaw ay perpetually disqualified from holding public office? In government-owned or controlled corporation? Can you accept consultancy agreement with the GOCCs? Well, meron na pong desisyon ng Supreme Court yan. Yan po ang sitwasyon. Disqualified siya from being appointed, pero 1 year later, nag-resurface po siya at siya po ay nagsabi na siya ay consultant na ng local water utilities administration. Yun po ba ay allowed? Bearing in mind na may restriction. Ang sabi po ng Supreme Court, this consultancy agreement is a very clever subterfuge aimed at it is a very clever subterfuge aimed at circumventing the prohibition imposed by the decision. So, pagka po ganyan yung nagsabi ng Supreme Court. Okay? Gentle reminder lang po sa ating lahat, be careful with what you text or send via email because she sent alarming messages with sexual undertones through Facebook and email to a fellow judge. Ang sabi ng Supreme Court, what you sent years ago will haunt you. The High Court noted that while the harassment started in 2009, when she was then a public prosecutor, she could still be disciplined for such acts committed prior to appointment to the judiciary, since the stalking continued after she became a Pasay judge on January 12, 2010. So take note of that po. Now, our last topic is lawyers and social media. Be careful with Friendster. Be careful, well, Friendster wala na. Be careful with Facebook. Be careful with Instagram. Be careful with Twitter or other engagement. Be careful with YouTube, what you post there. Be careful with YouPorn. Huwag kayo mag-post dyan. Okay, please, please. Our profession is a respectful one. Do not be involved there. Okay, wag po, wag po. What you do in life echoes in social media 8,000-fold. I repeat, beyond the bar exams, what you do in life will echo in social media 8,000-fold. Respondent judge, this is a case of a judge here in our province in Batangas, was subjected to an admin complaint for posting her details as a judge in Friendster and posting a picture with an indecent attire for the public's consumption. She was held liable for impropriety. Ang sabi pa ng Supreme Court, there is no prohibition on judges and lawyers joining social networking sites. The freedom of association covers social media. However, please take note that judges and lawyers, yan pong yellow, wala yan sa decision. Ako na lang po ang nagdagdag to provide context. For that matter, should be mindful that they do not shed off their status as judges and members of the bar online. Okay. Rants and all, bago ka mag-post ng rant mo sa social media, pakaisipin mo mabuti that what you do in life will echo on you professionally as a lawyer. May repercussion yan, kaya iwas tayo. A gentle reminder lang po, before you post, dreaded words to avoid, shared, screenshot, because pagka yan ang nangyari, tayong mga abogado, ang palitan natin ng ating mga maanghang na salita, pagmumura sa kapwa, screenshot lang ang katapat. At pag na-share yan, wala tayong kalaban-laban. So, imiwas tayo. Bakit? Because we carry with us in cyberspace the same ethical responsibilities and duties that every judge or lawyer is expected to follow in his or her everyday activities. So, ano po yung indecent attire dito? The wearing of off-shouldered suggestive dress and posting the same for public viewing is very, very improper. Ulitin ko po, the wearing of off-shouldered suggestive dress and posting the same for public viewing is improper. The lawyer was fined and reprimanded. Paalala lang po, sa panahon ngayon ng social media, kayo na mga, lalo na pag after the bar, nag-iintay ka ng resulta, yan yung ora de peligro kasi baka magkaroon pa ng dahilan kaya hindi ka makapag-oath pagpasa mo. So, iwas po kayo sa anumang tukso dyan, lalo na po yung maiilagay sa social media. We lawyers and bar candidates should behave professionally at all times. We assume that there is always a CCTV. We assume that drones are everywhere. We assume that everyone with the phone is an instant reporter who can upload our videos taken by them of our conduct or misconduct. In the Ortigas area, some years ago, isang lawyer ang na-video kasi lasing na lasing, a drunken driver who is a lawyer asked the apprehending traffic officer, baka hindi mo ko kilala. Which to my mind, and I know you will agree, that this is conduct unbecoming of a lawyer. What will add fuel to the fire is the fact na siya ay lawyer. We lawyers are victims of unfair branding and sensationalism. Media can be unfair at all times. Let us not allow them that opportunity. So for those in government service, ito naman ho ay hindi yung lawyer ang involved, kundi yung kanyang anak. Coding, ang sasakyan, ang ginawa, tinanggal yung kanyang plaka, ikinabit yung plaka ng ama, prosecutor. Sabay post pa sa social media, thanks sa plate dad. So may mali yung bata, walang mali yung lawyer unless nag-consent yung lawyer. Kung nag-consent yung lawyer, may violation siya. Walang coding. Okay? So take note of that. Kung matatanong sa bar, may consent ba yung magulang? Kung may consent, liable din siya. Okay? Ito ang malupit. Nagbigay ng free fuel voucher yung ama, government employee, kasi may mga fuel voucher yan sa ibang government agency. Ang ginawa ng bata ay naglagay pa sa social media ng thanks sa free fuel dad, sabay post ng fuel voucher. So please take note of that. Hindi po yan maganda, hindi po yan dapat pamarisan. Okay? Gentle reminder po sa inyo, ang hirap-hirap makuha ng ating lisensya. Muli ang aking paalala. These things, ang mga kwento pong ito'y hango sa mga tunay na pangyayari, tanging ang mga pinalitan ay mga pangalan ng lawyers o judges. Ito'y ginawa para mapangalagaan si Eddie. Sir, sinong Eddie? Eddie ako. Pero ang paalala ko sa inyo ito bago tayo magtapos, ang hirap-hirap makuha ng lisensya, ang dali-dali mawala. Nasa atin na yan kung tayo'y mamamatay at sa ating lapida may dala tayong titulong attorney. Kaya alagaan natin ang ating lisensya, yan po'y pribilehiyo, yan po'y kaloob ng Panginoon, biyaya mula sa Kanya. Pag nakuha ninyo yan, gamitin ninyo sa maayos at mabuting paraan. Stay ethical po kayo. At muli, ang aking paanyaya sa inyo, to get a copy of my book, Ethics 300, para po sa mga bagay na hindi natin na-discuss dito, yan po ay nandyan in detail, 312 questions taken from Supreme Court decisions. So yan lamang po at safer days ahead to all. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pakikisama sa akin ngayong lecture na ito. Nawa po sa tulong ng Villasis Law Center, we will achieve, and there's no limit to what you can do. Hangad ko po ang inyong tagumpay para sa bar exams. Maraming salamat po and God bless you all. Thank you po.
answer either way, class, and so long as you're able to present in your answer basic precepts, sound ones and rational ones, then it should be your answer given full credit. It would all depend on, as I always announce in my classes, it would always depend on your English. All right. You say that the successor president can act on those bills. Why? Well, because the Constitution does not make any distinction as to the rule of presentment and the competence of either predecessor or successor president to approve or veto the same. The only prescription in the Constitution is that if it were not acted within 30 days, then it shall be considered essentially as having lapsed into law. But you can answer that way, class, and that should be a correct answer. But then you can answer the other way.
Importante, again, sequential, you may skip, but make sure that you are still on that track. And what best way for you to make sure that you are still on track is, again, to devote a page to a main question. Make sure that you do this so that you wouldn't be forced to resort to putting notes like how you do it in law school, because in the bar examinations, no more. Diba yung notes mo dun sa examiner, Mr. Bar Examiner, please check the last page of my note of my booklet, because that's where I put my answer to this question. That's not allowed anymore because that's an unnecessary marking, right? So, kung sa law school, nagagawa yun dati, puro arrows, you try to direct your professor on where to do.
When party rests his case and real evidence consists of objects offered in court. Example, you may use a physical object to demonstrate its existence or identity. Like, for example, the serial number on a computer found in a private residence could identify it as a government-owned property. Or, for example, the gun that was used in case of murder. Now, the other type will be testimonial evidence. And what is testimonial evidence? You call a person to take the witness stand, and his testimony is being offered to prove specific purposes. The third type will be your documentary evidence. It is formally offered by the proponent immediately before he rests his case. A document may be an object evidence or a documentary evidence depending on the purpose.
This is before the amendment. And for every allegation, it should be supported by evidence, because evidence is the means sanctioned by the rules in a judicial proceeding to establish what? That equals to the truth. So if there is an allegation supported by evidence, then you're able to establish the truth. But now it has been adjusted. Kindly take note of that. Why? Because today, for purposes of filing a pleading, for purposes of initiating a complaint, and this would include all other pleadings, even responsive pleadings, what is now the requirement of the rule under Rule 6? That together with the pleading, initiatory pleading, which is made as an integral part thereof, would be what? Judicial affidavits.
He may be held liable for staffa by misappropriation or conversion. Okay, staffa by misappropriation or conversion. Why can't that not be theft? Why can't that not be carnapping, which is of similar nature of theft. Okay? It is because Mr. A's possession over that car is not only physical or material, it is juridical as well. For the next 7 days from the time he rented the car, okay, he not only has physical possession of that car, he has juridical possession of that car as well. Why did I say that?
The other source of labor principles is the Constitution. Do not enter the gates of USC unless you have mastered the four corners of Section 3, Article 13 of the Constitution of 1987. How important is this provision? Based on this constitutional provision, there were questions given in 1988, 96, 98. 2007, 2008, 2009, 2011, 2012. So if this constitutional provision figured in those barriers, then it means that it is a bar area that requires mastery. The first question in 1998 was this: what are the salient features of the profession?
Provided in the Constitution that the JBC, the Judicial and Bar Council, shall be composed of 7 members. The Chief Justice as ex officio chairperson, the Secretary of Justice, very specific, as a member, ex officio member, and then a member from Congress, and then 4 other regular members, a representative from the retired Supreme Court justices, very specific, a representative from the integrated bar, a representative from the private sector, and then a representative from the academe, professor of law. This case of Chavez versus JBC, it's included in this slide. I'm sharing simply because there was an issue actually on what a member.
Unang pumaparte sa mana, BIR, kasi mayroon tinatag na estate tax. Okay? Maganda ngayon, isa na lamang ang rate, 6% na lang ng net estate. Okay? Unlike before, the computation of the estate tax was a little complicated, and long before, meron ng estate tax, meron pang inheritance tax na mas magulong po i-compute. Kaya lang, fortunately, ito panahon ni Presidente Duterte, legislature passed a law simplifying the computation of estate taxes. A flat rate of 6% of the net estate. Hindi na-graduated.